Om Namah Shivaya. Hello friends. In this video we are going to understand a very important Sanskrit term Dev. But we will also understand the meaning of Sanskrit terms Devi and Asur. In English, let us call the plural of Dev as Devas. In Sanskrit, it is Devaha. Before furthering, I would request you to recall the understanding of the core terminology Prakriti. Without realizing the meaning of Prakriti, one cannot truly understand Devas. Please find the link in description. Now, what is a Dev? Dev comes from the Sanskrit root div, which means divine, to shine. This shining prominently does not refer to anything physical, but it refers to those factors which uphold stability in the field of observation. Let us realize the field of experience as a collective play of Panch Mahabhutas, mind, intelligence, and I-ness. Can confidence, the expanse of awareness, can they be called factors as well? Can willpower be called a factor? In Rigved, Agni, Vayu, Varun, Indra, and some more are all devas. Agni is usually translated as fire. But when we embrace the language of the Shastras, we find that Agni has no equal English translation. That which holds the cosmos, that spark which enables the organs to work, the ability to think, the willpower are all different forms of Agni. Agni is present even in the water molecules. Similarly, what is Vayu? Most people translate it as air, but it is also the inhaled and the exhaled air. It is that which cleans the mind and helps Agni in coordination of organs and various workings. What is Varuna? It is usually translated as water, but in the Vedic terms, it is the vast expanse of waters of knowledge and confidence. Indra is called the ruler of Devas. It is the strength of the mind. Friends, these Devas are entire topics to be understood. When dealing with Vedic language, we cannot translate these terms in mere one word English translation. It corrupts the entire meaning. To better understand Devas, let us analyze a simple example of driving a car, which I often give, and which is easiest to translate to. How do we learn driving? What is our state of mind on the very first day? What is our focus? Where is it? On the road? On other cars? On gears? Accelerator? Also, someone who is not willing to listen, who is without interest, can he learn driving? Can he understand anything at all, let alone explore a deeper foundation? If we carefully analyze, then we find to understand anything, Agni is the foremost of the devas to rise in the field of experience. Here, the performer is performing a yajna, the yajna of driving. Why did he decide to learn driving? The factors can be any. Maybe he turned 18, maybe he saw his friends doing the same, maybe because of duties or desire to reach office. What if the performer shows weak interest and low listening capabilities? In this case, yajna becomes tamasic and bears no fruit. It does not even start properly. Agnidev does not sit in such a tamasic yajna. Now, if the performer shows interest, proper devotion to the learning process, the yajna becomes sattvic. In Vedic language, the performer here is called Kavi, the singer whose singing, whose sur emanates around a seed. That singer invokes Agni Dev. This can be seen in the starting hymn of Rigved 1.1.1. The entire Rigved starts with Agni. Every process or a task has a seed, a bij. In this yajna, the seed is driving. The Kavi, the singer, embraces this sur. Let us look at the yajna of driving a car and the factors for the blooming of devas. In the initial days of the learning process, the performer sees his hands, legs, accelerator, brakes, and clutch. He tries to be cautious. Agni is invoked, and this Agni calls other devas to sit in this yajna. Indra tries to tame this yajna. Every day, the expanse of Varuna Deva increases. The performer continues to perform this tapasya with devotion. He may face obstructions. He may see some people giving left indicator on the road but turning right. The mental obstructions, doubts, whispers, and various attachments which bring mental cloudiness and darkness are the deviations from Sur. Because they cause hindrance to the yajna, because they bring deviation from Sur, they are called Asuras. Therefore, the only way forward is to surrender to the yajna, endure, nurture patience, and soon in this yajna, where Deva stands strongly, a flux of Devis start pouring in. Devis are the radiances that come from a higher world or a higher state. On the 10th day of learning, the performer is not the same as on the first day of learning. There's a growth of learning, confidence, and focus. But when performer shows patience, he is rewarded by Devis. In Rigved, Usha, Vat, Saraswati, Aditi are all Devis. Of all these Devis, Usha has the highest number of verses in Rigved. Who is Usha? In a physical sense, she is the light before the rise of the sun. At that time, birds start chirping. They know that sun is about to emerge. Is there any doubt at that time that the sun will not emerge? In the Vedic meaning, Usha is the realization. It is that which stirs the yajna. She indeed comes to the yajna where Agni stands strong. With her coming, Devas become bigger and better. In the process of learning to drive a car, when the performer gains realization, his mind and body start becoming one. The correct path, the correct approach, how much the accelerator should be pressed are all realizations that no one else can teach. This is the light before the rise of the sun. It comes from inner reflections. Soon, the performer gains a state where he does not have to look at his feet, hands, clutch, or think how much to press the accelerator or how fast to drive. All these disturbances diminish. He becomes confident. A state comes when he does not even think that he is driving. He may think about professional or personal problems, but not about driving. This is the state where the sun is said to have risen in the yajna of driving. Now Usha is not bothered. Now all is visible. In Rigved, sun is called the eye of Devas. This is not the physical sun, even though poetry has a habit of using physical resemblance. Sun is the true guru who has presided over the yajna. With the coming of this Aditya in the yajna, the performer and the field of performance related to driving have become one. There is nothing to be known and nothing to do. Since there is no duality, no division between the performer and the performance, between the observer and the field of observation, it leads to the rise of Devi Aditi, the undivided reality. Of course, to remind, the connection is with the yajna of driving. One drives without even thinking about driving, like how one breathes without even thinking about breathing. With the rise of sun, there is no darkness. There are no asuras. Also, since Devas caused the rise of Sur or the success of Sur, they are called Suras. Friends, every yajna has its own Devas. A yajna may be a subset of a yajna. It may arise from another yajna as well. Whether driving, playing a guitar, gymming, running, fighting, or playing any form of sports. These are all yajnas. They have a seed. They are temporary. If you have carefully watched this video, then please comment on what is a Vedic yajna. How is it different from all these yajnas? Why is it called Sanatan, eternal? Friends, devas form the entire field of experience. This means that they are part of the physical body as well. They grow by discipline, by yajna. They cannot be translated as God. For this reason, because many Vedic templates have a high meaning, I would only emphasize not to use Western frameworks like God and religion to understand the Vedic language. Vedic science uses a lot of terminologies to articulate a crystal clear meaning regarding the nature of reality. It is much different than modern material science, and for this reason, one should not try to understand this by using narrow and limited Western frameworks. The linguistic foundation, the vast Vedic works, the ocean of notions that come from Sanskrit, should be understood by embracing the Sanskrit frameworks only. Friends, I hope you got a glimpse to the meaning of Devas. A greater meaning with an anchored flow can be realized when one reads Shastras like Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Tantras. They have to be read completely. The meaning can be found in all my books where I have translated various Shastras. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe and please consider donation with links in the description.